Oh yeah, Diddy got a podcast.
It's a cycle.
Yeah.
What I'm hearing is a cycle, and it reminds me of, like, for me, it's almost like when you're 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, before you reach double digit ages, when you're between like 6 and 9 and stuff like that. And they tell you this when you're a little bit older too, but definitely during those ages, they're telling you, like, you better not smoke. You hear me? Mm-hmm. Or you better not drink when you get older. And it's like, how are you gonna sit here and smoke a cigarette or smoke a blunt or drink alcohol and while you're doing it, you're telling me I shouldn't do it? Mm-hmm. And it's like, you have to lead by example. And something I've always been confused about is how there's like this lack of leading by example, and it's like you're still expected, regardless of what they're doing or what the adults are doing. It's like once you reach a certain age, you're just supposed to know how to do it, right? Even though they went through the same thing when they were a kid, mm-hmm. right? And I'm not speaking for your parents, but I'm speaking for my experiences. It's like I was always confused by that, and I see us just going in a cycle. And it's like, nah, man, we have to lead by example. And now that we're adults, we have to know that what we experienced as a child, we have to understand what happened there. Something, they may have grown up the same way that we did, and they didn't break the cycle. Instead, they chose to do what they saw. And therefore, it's like we're left to kind of figure it out. And I don't think it, like, for some people, it kind of like ruins relationships with parents and, family members and role models. But it doesn't always. Like you say, like, you and your mom have a great relationship now. But I think that for me, I found myself angry with my mom many times before. And I think my mom's the nicest person I've ever met in my life. She's the most loving person I've ever met in my life. But I used to look at certain things with my mom and how she went through like domestic violence. And I would just be confused, like, she's going through this, but then she's telling my older sister at the same time, don't settle for this, mm-hmm. or don't settle for that. So it's very interesting that you kind of like went through the same thing. And Drika and I kind of talked a little bit about this, mm-hmm. and she kind of went into detail about how she went through the same cycle that she saw other people go through.
Because it's just, I'm not trying to like be biblical or anything, but it's really just a test. And you are being tested on probably the sins of your parents. And they didn't pass that test. Now it's your turn to come up against that test and pass it. Like, I don't want to quote the Bible wrong, but the Bible says somewhere about, the sins that you commit, those will be some of the things that your kids will have to deal with. And I definitely see that now, because my dad being committing adultery and things of that nature, like, I always come against somebody who has that same problem. And it's like, how do I act in that situation? Am I going to act like my mom, or am I going to try to use some of the things that she instilled in me, to go against those. I can't necessarily explain it, but to decipher those things and to turn away from those people? Or do I keep those people in my life and then go back on the same cycle that my mom went on, and then my children have to go through this again? You get what I'm saying?
I do get what you're saying.